is nearing the tropical season of summer, I thought that it was the perfect time to do this. I've been planning this out, writing the script, and, of course, collecting footage for this video for quite a while now, and I think that I'm finally ready to tell you guys about fishing in video games. Fishing is one of my favorite parts in video games. It's just so charming and cozy, you really get the sense of peace. Whether you're fishing in acnh or kicking back in Kirby in the Forgotten Land, there's just something about it that's so spectacular. Today we'll be talking about the different types of fishing, mechanics, styles, fishes, and qualities of having fishing in video games. I hope you're excited to kick back, relax, and enjoy talking about, well, fishing. Fishing, in my opinion, is definitely a feature that gets overlooked a lot in video games, and I, for one, adore it. The same with bug catching in Animal Crossing. It's just so amazing, and I really do enjoy it. Fishing comes in all different shapes and sizes in video games, as well as real life, but I feel like there's definitely a lot more variety in video games to do with fishing. You can maybe catch up some essences, like in My Sims, or you may just catch some real fish, like in acnh. But whether you're catching real or not really fish, it's still exciting nevertheless. I like seeing the different mechanics that people use in the video game industry and seeing how people's take on fishing is in video games, because I, for one, absolutely love fishing, but I don't really do any fishing IRL, so fishing in video games is definitely my cup of tea. The mechanics for fishing in video games is definitely unique. Some you may just be wiggling around the controller waiting to catch a fish, while others you may be mashing the A button like in Kirby and hoping to catch a fish as well. But either way, whether you're just mashing the A button or just buttons in general, or you're wiggling around the remote, I feel like either way, it's still a really unique way of fishing. I hope that in the future with maybe acnh, they'll add a more realistic way of reeling in the fish, like you're actually reeling it in like you do IRL, because acnh and Animal Crossing in general has a really unique and more realistic way of fishing, and maybe in some video games they already have that, in which I don't really know because I don't really play fishing like simulators, and they may have that, it probably will, but I don't know, I just feel like going into acnh and like using the motion controls to reel in a fish would be really unique. But mechanics in video games for fishing, it definitely varies. Like you said, some are more realistic than others. But nevertheless, I feel like it's really unique. The quality of having fishing in video games is definitely there, but I feel like some video games like The Last of Us may not need it, but we're going to be going into some video games that definitely need fishing and have the fishing already in it. So I hope that you're ready to, again, kick back, relax, and enjoy talking about fishing. I'm very excited for this, guys. Animal Crossing is an amazing example of fishing in video games. It's been a major mechanic in the entirety of the franchise, but I can just tell you that acnh really knocked it out of the park. The HD rumble, their realistic approach, the quotes, and of course Blathers giving you a detailed description is nothing short of a genius way of fishing. And the way it incorporates the different types of fish you catch from the ocean, river, and ponds is amazing. The details for fish in acnh are usually spot on, although they become a bit over-exaggerated sometimes due to how Blathers is, and much like IRL, the fish are very realistic. The type of weather on your acnh island can also contribute to the type of fish that you can catch. On rainy days, you might be able to get your hands on a coelacanth, while other days on, let's say, a sunny summer day, you might be able to catch a shark or maybe even a sunfish. And did you know that fish can also be used to gift to your villagers and even be used in recipes? Sometimes when you catch a fish, like the trash in the game, they'll give you a recipe. You can then cook it to gain hunger points or give it to your favorite villager. And just a little side note, you can dig up manila clams that you can find on the beach and use it to craft fish bait. You can then throw it into the water and watch some magic happen. Fish will automatically spawn on command, and it may not always be a big and profitable fish, but it's still good nevertheless. So needless to say, acnh and the previous Animal Crossing games are absolutely amazing and fun for fishing. If you want both an educational and relaxing experience, then head on over to Animal Crossing. I think that Animal Crossing is one of the best games for fishing, and I really do enjoy it. I definitely know a lot more about fish than I did previously. Story of Seasons has really good fishing mechanics, much like the ones of Pets Cats too. You cast your fishing rod into the water and slowly reel it in. Then you have to go back and forth with pushing and not pushing buttons to prevent the fish from swimming away. It all takes skill and of course patience, and not always will you reel it in. Each fish you catch will be ranked from a 0 to 10 star ranking, and when you level up your fishing rank, it's easier to catch higher ranked fish. Now, what can you do with the fish, you may be asking? Well, there's a couple of things. Well, you can sell them. Each higher ranked fish gives you more money. Cook them. It'll give you more hearts the better the rank is. And you can gift it, of course. There really isn't much to talk about fishing in Story of Seasons, but it certainly is really cozy and adds a new layer of charm to the game. I think that fishing should definitely be added to a lot more games, whether it's a very minor detail or a very big detail. I think that's definitely important nevertheless. Much like fishing and bug catching in acnh, I think that it should be definitely added to more video games. All the footage shot for Kirby and the Forgotten Land will be credited to Nintendo World by A4E. In Kirby and the Forgotten Land, there is a fishing minigame that gets added into the Wildy town later into the game. It's a little tiny pond that you and your little Wildy friend fish at. You can catch fish that are maybe only 166G, or even fish that are 8,000G. I think that without a doubt, this is one of my favorite minigames in any Kirby game. I think that just the mechanics, the style, and everything is so cute. Now, granted, there isn't any realistic qualities about fishing in either of the games I listed, but they're absolutely adorable. I love the style and mechanics, and they're just so cozy and yet again charming. You can even play by yourself and cozy up doing some fishing. You mash the buttons as quick as possible as they pop up on screen, and you try to catch the biggest fish. At first, you may only be able to catch fish that are in the 400 range, but as you go up, they may be able to catch as big as 8,000 kg, like I had mentioned earlier. I think that this game has a really good variety of mini games, whether you're just going and twisting the knob to go to the, the little machine, or you're playing fishing. I think that it's so cute, and I think that's definitely a brand new twist into the Kirby franchise. And oddly enough, I think that fishing really does suit this game. I love the fish and how they have their little goggles, and I think that, like I said, it definitely is a cute little mini game. I think that out of all the games I've listed here today, I think that this is definitely one of my favorite fishing in video game moments. What about you guys? Please let me know in the comment section down below. All the footage shot for this My Sims portion is by Kadiella Gaming, which was, I think, shot 7 years ago. But all the credit goes to her. My Sims is my favorite game in the history of games, and you know what this game has? Fishing! The feature is very small, and you don't actually catch fish, but you fish up essences like I mentioned earlier instead. The essences vary from a rainbow trout, clownfish, to anywhere from a tire, paint, etc. The fishing is similar to Animal Crossing, where you wait until the bopper goes underneath the water to collect the essence. I love how they add this as a feature, even if they aren't fishing up fish. It's so cute. Now, granted, like I mentioned earlier, there are 2 to 3 fish, I believe, but they are still essences, and you use it to have different colors, such as wallpaper and colors on the furniture in the game. And like I said, this game is my favorite game in the history of games, and I definitely do want to make videos on this. I hope that in the future, maybe they update a new My Sims game and they add fishing as a further mechanic into the game, but they have multiple areas where you can catch the fish. This is one of the areas. There's an area in the forest and in some of the other areas, but I think it's just so cute and charming. All footage shot in this Pets Cats 2 portion will be credited to Dogfish. I think this is again recorded about 8 or 9 years ago, so I don't even know if they'll see this, but anyhow, just thought I'd give them credit. Okay, now let's move on to Pets Cats 2. So Pets Cats 2 showcases fishing, which shows up quite a few times in the game. It's much like Story of Seasons that I mentioned earlier, and it's quite unique and charming. My childhood consisted of these 2 games, and I'm really happy that I'm able to showcase them. I also really want to make some Let's Plays of this game in the future, as well as My Sims, because I love these games both so much. I think that they're so unique. Pets Cats 2 is definitely more horrific than I had imagined it to be as a young child. I was definitely terrified of them, but seeing it when I was grown up, I was like, wow, that's a little bit scary. So you cast your line into the waters and wait for a fish to pop up. Then you try to quickly reel it in before it wiggles away. Most of the time, you'll just catch sardines, while other times you may catch some other rare and valuable fish. Now, what can you do with a fish, you may be asking yourself? Well, you can give it to the zoo and aquarium guy Kenneth, which his famous catchphrase is hey, 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 and hello, hello, hello. And you can also use the sardines to ride on dolphins. Credit goes to Noob for this portion of the video. Pokemon Shield's fishing is really cute and calming since the basic premise of Pokemon is catching them. It's nice to have an option to cast your fishing rod in hopes of catching a fish. There are so many water Pokemon that you can catch. Some are small, some are big, and some are so astronomically large that you question your existence. And of course, the water Pokemon you fish up will vary, but you can choose to add them to your party, to battle, to keep in your Pokédex, or to trade them from all around the world and with your friends. You can even use things that act as a bait to catch better fish. Now obviously they all vary in the types, and some are even water Pokemon. I have to say that without a doubt, fishing is one of the best things developers could add to video games. Since I don't really fish IRL, I think it's really nice to have an alternative to fishing in video games, rather than IRL. Some of the games I listed really took a more realistic approach to it, with both the fish mechanics and the detail. While others may have been just added as a little fun mini-game, but whether you're fishing up fishies or even things that aren't fishies, I think that's a really cute and a fun feature that needs to get added to more video games. I think it's definitely great to add fishing as a feature in video games, if it's in the right setting of course. I can't see fishing in a video game like Last of Us or Nintendo Switch Sports, but as a life simulator or a farming simulator, I think it's just fine. So, do I love fishing? Yes. Do I love fishing in video games? Absolutely, and like I said, it doesn't fit in every single video game, but I think the video games I listed are my favorites, and I really do think that fishing was a good feature to add to these video games. But what do you guys think? What is your fondest memory of fishing in video games? Please let me know. And as well, I apologize I was talking a bit fast in some of the areas, or if I was stuttering, because like I said in my previous videos I made, when I'm reading off a script, I'm not too good at it, so I really do apologize for that. But yeah, I wanted to make this video because I really do enjoy fishing in video games, and I thought that would just be a fun and little neat video that I didn't really think a lot of people made. But that's all for me. Thank you guys for watching. Bye! Stay well. I love y'all. See you very soon in the next video. Bye!